Hi, welcome back to Double Vision. Today we are going to upcycle these dirty, disgusting, stained, damaged old books. So, we don't have any rules, so let's just get right to it.
Hey you guys, Bird here in the Crafty Conservatory. Okay, so I have my great biography Reader's Digest. What I plan to do with this is turn it horizontal. She's in that rainbow. And turn this portion into a functional drawer. What will go in there, I am not sure. Outside of my book, I'm gonna need some things. I have rulers, scissors, straight edge, you could use an X-Acto knife. There's plenty of fresh blades. That's pretty important whenever you're cutting paper. And I also have a cutting mat, which this just helps me out across the board, protect my surface. Highly recommend. After marking where your drawer will be coming from, just open that bad boy up. Have some kind of starting point. I need some kind of starting point in here. Open it up, mark the pages. I went in 1 inch from each side. Up here, I just use the end of the words as my guideline, and then I cut all the way through the edge because that entire part will be coming out of my book, if that makes sense. As I cut those pages away, this will all start to open up. And that's my first step, and then we'll dive into the next one. All right, so while I tackle this, let's go see where Stacy's at with her project and what she plans to do.
Thanks, Bird. So today I'm going to take this book and make it into a vase. So I already cleaned the book off, and I marked the places where I want the opening to be. Now I'm going to put a bag on the side where the opening is, like that. Okay. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, like so. Now I'm going to take this, fold this over, so only the part that I want to seal right now is open. So I'm going to take Mod Podge, and I'm holding it tight so it stays in the shape I want it to stay in. And I'm going to put Mod Podge right along here. Okay, now that I have that part done, I'm going to take off my bag and put a piece of parchment paper here so it's flat. Put the bag back on the side. Okay. Hold it tight, and now I'm going to do this part. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Lay this flat and put some books on it, and this heavy vintage iron form that I have that weighs like 1,000,000 pounds, and put that on there and let it dry. And let's go back to see what Bird's been up to.
Okay, don't lose sight to the end product when you are reconstructing a book. That was tough. Getting those pages out took all of my patience, but here we are. I used Saran wrap before I applied the Mod Podge to protect the front and back cover. You don't yet want everything sealed, but you want to go ahead and seal those inside books cover pages together. I did about 2-3 coats and let it dry.
I am back. The book is dry, and it has been glued into the different sections. So I've marked with pencil, and there's Cadmus. I've marked with pencil where I want to make my cuts with my X-Acto knife. And I'm going to cut through this entire section. So it's going to take forever with a capital F, my life. And I won't torture you with that. We're going to put it on time lapse. So here we go. So for this project, you're going to be cutting a couple pieces at a time. It's very tedious and your hand might hurt a little bit, so make sure you practice self-care on that. Oh, my hand is tired. I am taking a cat break. Taking a cat break. Taking a cat break. Yes, you gonna bite me. Are you gonna bite me? Do you want me to bite you? Do you want me to bite me? Why you like that? Why you like that? Alright, enough cat break. The tedium of this project might get to you, but I promise you it'll be worth it in the end. At least it better be. My hand hurts. I'm only halfway through. So we're going to take a little bit of a break. What do you think, Katniss? Sound good? She agrees. Back in a mode. Once feeling returned to my hand, I kept cutting until I got all the way through. Now that I have this cut, I'm going to try to smooth out the inside a little bit because it's pretty raggedy. So I'm using coarse sandpaper and the X-Acto knife to smooth out the edges and cut off the extra paper that's still there. Now we're going to use Mod Podge to glue the larger section to the back and weigh it down to dry. Okay, so the book is glued to the next page, and now I'm going to put a bunch of Mod Podge in here to really make it a solid thing. So let's get started on that. I'm gluing the front section to the middle, weighing it down, and now let's go check in with Bird.
Thanks, Stacy. Looking good so far. Okay, you guys, so my book has dried. I took the saran wrap off of the front and the back cover. We are going to be decorating those. We're also going to be covering the spine. You're not going to know that it was a Reader's Digest. I'm going to be using this floral ribbon. It's really cute. I had it just laying around. I have some lace, a paper doily, and then I had these book corners in a random craft box. I'll be using Mod Podge to apply everything. Okay, as I finish covering my book, let's go check in with Stacy and see where she's at in her process.
Hi, I'm back, sporting an 80s side ponytail for no apparent reason. Katniss is also back, and she's right here. To move. Anyways, so this is what the book is looking like right now. I haven't glued the covers together because I have some things to do before that happens. So let's get to it. First, I'm going to sand the pages to smooth out the rough edges. Then I'm going to paint the edges of the cover with a brown metallic paint so that it blends in better with the decoupage images I'm going to put on there. It's much easier to do that before the cover has been glued down. Okay, now that that's mostly dry, I am going to glue the covers on. Now don't worry, this looks wild right now, but it'll look totally fine once we've done the decoupage part. So let's get to gluing. I'm adding Mod Podge to both the cover and the page for extra stick, and then I'm weighing the whole thing down. So now that that's dry, we are going to decoupage some designs on this. So let's get started with that. I pre-cut pieces of matte printed cardstock to the appropriate size. And again, I'm using Mod Podge on both the cover and the page for extra stick. And I also cut out a piece of book spine printed cardstock and I'm gluing that on. One last step, I'm painting the edges with a brown metallic paint so that it blends in a little better. It's subtle, but it really does make a difference. So I'm covering the entire book in several layers of Mod Podge, at least 3, but I'll probably use more. And if I have any bubbles, I'll use a piece of parchment paper to smooth them out. So the book is looking really great. I love it, but I think it needs a little more stability if it's actually going to sit on a table and hold things. So I'm going to glue it to something. I thought about wood, I thought about clay, But in the end, I decided to go with this, an old library style bookend. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach that. Here we go. So I'm using a combination of V6000 and hot glue for a quick stick and a long stick. Okay, so here's the vase. I love it. Was it worth all the hassle? I think it was. Yeah, it's really cool. So let's go check in with Bird and see what she's been up to. And when we come back, I'll show you how I styled it.
Thanks, Stacy. Okay, you guys, so while the other piece of my drawer, my book, is drying, we need to make the inside portion. I'm going to be using cardboard, a straight edge, and a ruler to pretty much get the pieces together to make said drawer. So here we have all the pieces for the inside drawer. I also wanted to go ahead and get my knob, make my opening so that when I construct the drawer, I can add that as need be. I used hot glue to put all of that together. I also decided last minute I wanted to add a little bit of height to the drawer and the book, so I glued on these really cute wooden beads as feet. To add some depth as well as character to the drawer, I covered the cardboard in the lace, and then I used some cardstock to kind of fine-tune my project. I added a little color to the inside of the drawer just to have a fun pop. So as a last touch, I glued down that doily and I finished painting the outside pages gold. It really ties everything together. I'm super impressed with this project. Let's go check out Stacy's progress.
Thanks, Bird. And here's how I styled my vase. I used some delicate spring flowers with floral rocks in the bottom, and then I surrounded it with some of my favorite vintage items. I think this makes a really pretty vignette. You can also style it on its side for a more book-like effect. I think the spine turned out really cool on this one. So thanks for crafting with me today. See you next time. Bye.
And here it is in all of its glory. I love it so much. I even added some of my sewing stuff to the inside. This project was a lot of fun and just goes to show you can do a number of things with an old book. Thank you so much for crafting with us.
Like, subscribe, and share this video to help our channel grow.
And be sure to stay tuned to see what we'll be doing next. Our next video will be out soon.
Which one of our pets will make an appearance? You'll just have to wait and see.
And click the links below to check out our Etsy shops and see what we're doing on social media.
See you next time. Bye.
Ciao.